The national debt figure, which doesn't include bank bailouts, is over £1 trillion. It's a massive number to get your head around. So let's just break it down a bit. If you divide that whopping debt figure by the number of households in the UK, it means each house is in £40,000 worth of government debt. So where's all the money gone?
Well, significant chunks of the government's outgoings go on things like welfare payments, defence, the NHS, just spending day-to-day things, nurses, etc. It invests money, about £40 billion a year. That would be in the likes of roads, bridges, things like that. And debt interest, £50 billion per year is used to pay interest on the government debt that we've accumulated.
Now, at the moment, that £1 trillion debt figure is constantly rising, and the government have no chance of reducing it unless they tackle that other thing we mentioned, the deficit. Now, that's the gap between the money that the government gets in through taxes and the money that they pay out for things such as schools, hospitals, benefits and the interest on loans. Now, the deficit figure is currently £120 billion. So, in other words, for every £100 that the government is spending a year, they're bringing in £81, so just £81 there. Now, if you were to look at what that's for an individual house, so divide the total number again by the households, that's like the people in your house spending £5,000 a year more than they're actually making. Now, here's the Chancellor back in 2010 explaining what would happen if they didn't have a plan to reduce the deficit.
Now imagine what would follow. The market turmoil, the flight of investors, the dismay of business, the loss of confidence, the credit downgrade, the sharp rise in real interest rates, the extra debt interest, the lost jobs, the cancelled investment, the businesses destroyed, the recovery halted, the return of crippling economic instability, Britain back on the brink. We are not going to allow that to happen to our country again.
So how have the deficit-cutting plans been going? Well, have a look at this graph. You can see for several years the deficit was just going up and up. And then in 2010 it started to turn a corner. But if we want to get back into credit where our income is more than our expenses, this line needs to go down below zero, and then we can start